I'm with Alyssa Lang with the SEC Network. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm doing really well. It's always a great week, and being here in Nashville is even more fun for Media Days.
You've covered a few of these Media Days, haven't you?
Yeah, prior to the SEC Network, I was at several of these, and then the last 6 seasons now for ESPN and the SEC Network, and it gets more and more fun every year the more people you get to know and the more fun you have in this league.
When I read the Tennessee game notes, you show up. When I read the Tennessee for football and basketball, you show up. Why do you think that is?
You know, there's this very strange thing happening with me and Tennessee sports, which I appreciate because I think some Tennessee fans maybe don't necessarily love me immediately, knowing that I went to South Carolina and there's a little bit of a bitter rivalry there. But I feel like I'm starting to win some people over because, as you know, I've never been on the sidelines of a Tennessee football or men's basketball game where they have lost. It's never happened. And when I got there last basketball season, when #1 Alabama was coming to town and they put me on that game, I got a little nervous. The streak might end. I'm a little nervous. Tennessee fans won't like me anymore. Lo and behold, they win the basketball game, and it was an electric atmosphere out there for Coach Barnes, and it was awesome. So I think I'm either at 13 or 14 straight over the last 5 years, which is unbelievable, really. I don't know what's happening.
So is Tennessee trying to pay you to come to the games now?
I was actually talking with Bill Martin, the great football SID that y'all have out in Knoxville, and he said something about an honorary Tennessee degree, so I think I'm going to have to hold him to that.
Do you have any kind of streak like that with another school?
No, not that I'm aware of. And it's funny because I wasn't even aware of it for the first 5 or 6 games until some Tennessee fan actually pointed it out on social media and said, I don't think we've lost a game while Alyssa's here. And I said, well, surely that can't be right. And I'm going back, I'm thinking, I actually have never been at Tennessee with Tennessee on the road where I haven't interviewed their head coach at the end of the game. So it's an uncanny streak, but I'm kind of hoping that it keeps going, honestly. I know it might be at the demise of some other SEC schools, but it's kind of a fun thing.
Well, there's a pretty famous Tennessee quarterback that's been to a lot of Tennessee games, and they lose when he goes to the games.
Does that mean y'all would rather have me there than Peyton Manning?
Well, maybe.
I'm the curse breaker for Peyton.
So do you have any Tennessee football games this year, or do you know yet?
I don't know yet. We usually get our assignments about a week before. I don't know yet where I'm heading for week 1, but I usually at least get 1 or 2 Tennessee games. Last year, I had the game immediately following the Alabama win, so that was a ton of fun to be there in Knoxville, sort of in the aftermath of that. So I'm sure I'll get up there again this year.
After the Tennessee-Alabama game, there was a fan storming incident, of course. If you're a sideline reporter, that could get a little bit dicey.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation like that?
I have, multiple actually, between football and basketball, and it is crazy. Usually the fans are really enjoying themselves and really excited, so you kind of have to keep your head on a swivel. But probably the craziest one that I was part of was 2 years ago. Arkansas basketball was hosting Auburn when they were a top-ranked team, and it was a crazy game. It went into overtime, and the Arkansas fans stormed the court faster than anything I have ever seen in my entire life. I was in the tunnel with Coach Muss doing the post-game interviews. Somehow they got him in there lightning speed. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. And as soon as we ended the post-game interview, I sat there and just watched it for a few minutes and watched the fans celebrate. It was just one of those moments I'll never forget.
Did you ever feel in danger?
Not really, honestly. The wonderful officers out there in Fayetteville really did such a great job making sure everybody was safe. There was actually a moment where I lost my phone and my iPad at my seat because I went to go do the interview and I left all my stuff there, which is standard. And the table I was sitting at had gotten kind of flipped over from the student section rushing out. So I thought my phone and my iPad and everything were gone, but it turned out a wonderful police officer there in the Coliseum picked up my stuff and held on to it for safekeeping, so truly saved my life that night. But it was like being with family.
Are you a South Carolina grad?
I am.
Okay, so if you're asked to cover a Tennessee-South Carolina game, you're South Carolina grad, Tennessee's got a streak going. Would you recuse yourself?
Yeah, no, I've actually done that before. I've had a South Carolina-Tennessee game in football and in men's basketball. And, it's a different mindset, I think, when you're on the sidelines. You truly take off that fan or that graduate helmet and you put on the reporter helmet, and it's really one of those mentality things that I go into it hoping for a good football game. That's what I go into every game hoping for, that we get an exciting game, that people are watching till the end, that we have some incredible moments and nobody gets hurt. Those are the things that I hope for. So I take my fan hat off, I take my streak hat off, but as soon as the dust settles after a Tennessee win, it is kind of nice to go check my Twitter and say, you did it again, as if I have anything to do with what's happening out there.
What are your thoughts on the Tennessee football team this year?
I'm really excited. I was one of those people who, when Tennessee initially hired Josh Heupel, I wasn't sure. I'm talking to other people surrounding the sport and surrounding the area who knew him, and he just wasn't one of those hires that everyone got excited about right off the bat, and I kind of fell into that trap, and it's unbelievable to see what he's done now. Going into this year, how dead wrong any of us who doubted him for an instant were. What he's been able to do, not only from a fan perspective, but on the field with transforming that team and transforming that offense to where it is now, has been really incredible to watch. The relationship with Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton last year and even to now is one of my favorite things to talk about and to learn more about. And I'm really excited for Joe this year to finally get his moment. He's been waiting for so long, and he's been so patient, and he's put in all of that work and all of that time. I can't wait to see that pay off for him this year, and I think it will, because that receivers group is still just as loaded despite losing Jalen.
So pregame, will you, if you got a Tennessee game, will you go out and watch Joe Milton throw?
Oh, absolutely. And I remember being out there last year and watching Joe Milton warm up, and I was like, this guy could be an NFL tight end tomorrow. Just standing next to him is a little different from watching him on television. But I mean, the athleticism, you check every single box. I know the accuracy will be what everybody's focused on this year, but if he can be accurate, he's the whole package.
Alyssa, I appreciate it. Good to catch up with you, and look forward to seeing you in Knoxville.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.